We really have to stop distracting ourselves from being aware of our emotions and our feelings, because if we continue to supply anesthesia to our problems on the inside, they're just gonna keep growing bigger and bigger and bigger till we're gonna continue the cycle, or we're going to actually potentially put ourselves in harm's way to not feel these feelings anymore. And we really have to stop distracting ourselves from these things and face them head on. Hi loves, welcome back. I'm Max. Welcome back to POV Max Mind. And I'm just here to talk about life things, lessons that I've learned, things that I'm going through, and really circle it all back to let's regrow our minds to better ourselves, better our mental wellness, and better our lives. You know what I mean? So today I was listening to Myron Golden's Bible study, and if you don't know who he is, look him up, watch his YouTube videos. He is phenomenal. Um, but his Bible study that he was talking about today, it really kind of sparked something in me. Like, I'm not the only one that goes through this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But we have so many feelings and emotions that we've have created over time from certain situations and people, and hurts and things like that. um, we really distract ourselves from attacking these problems head on. And I'm going to say it's a problem because when these feelings and emotions arise and we feel them and it's uncomfortable and we don't really know what to do with it in that situation, we don't know how to deal with them in this certain situation, we would suppress them, distract ourselves from it. We don't want to feel the pain. I don't want to hurt anymore. I don't want to go through this. So we suppress it. How do we suppress it? There are people that binge eat. There are people that don't eat. They starve themselves. There are people that drink alcohol, do drugs. Um, there are people that have little addictions like smoking cigarettes or chewing gum, eating ice, um, even scrolling on social media to, distract yourself in that present moment. We all have these distractions going on, and we need to stop distracting ourselves from the problems that keep arising and arise time after time again. And we have to really attack the problem, attack the emotions, attack the feelings head on. Like, when you feel them, like, man, why is this coming up again? Why does it keep coming up? You know what I mean? And we have to stop distracting ourselves, because the more that we suppress these emotions, we suppress these feelings from whatever situation has happened to us, growing up. We all have a story. We've all been through something, you know what I mean? But if we keep suppressing them and suppressing them and suppressing them, they're just going to continue to rise up. And as they continue to rise up, it's just going to be a stronger and stronger urge. Think of it like if you ever had those little washcloths or those little toys, and it's like this little, and you have to put it in the water, and then you would just watch it grow. Think of your emotions and feelings like just growing, just growing and absorbing as the water is growing and absorbing, and that toy gets bigger and bigger. That's how our emotions and feelings will keep coming up and keep coming up till it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until it gets big enough, and you're just like, okay, I can't deal with this anymore. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And you're either going to seek help to actually get you're actually going to seek help to attack this problem head on. Like, what do I need to do to, make this go away, and not as a temporary go away, but how can I resolve it so that I'm healed on the inside? Where some people tap out and take the easy route and go do suicide, or, they do suicide, or they just continue to stay in that same cycle and continue to do drugs, continue to do those bad habits that keep us distracted from actually dealing with the problem. You know what I mean? Um, Something similar, kind of not related. Um, but me, my whole life, I have not been attached to my emotions up till I would say the recent 5 years of my life. And actually feeling my emotions and expressing them has been really uncomfortable. I've gotten to a place where I'm more comfortable at doing it now. Um, I'm more comfortable of doing it now, talking about it now, because I know the longevity effect of if I don't talk about them. And so now me and my therapist were really like digging up things and, laying it out on the table. Okay, like, why do you feel this way? Why is this how you feel now? And let's go back and evaluate what was going on. You know what I mean? And so I'm going through that right now with two things. I will speak on this one. So 2 years ago, my brother-in-law, we don't really say the law, but my brother, just so you get the context, my brother-in-law, he passed away. And not only did he pass away, but he passed away a day after my birthday. And me and my therapist just really conquered another problem that I've dealt with around the time of my birthday. And now I have another little cloud that I need to peek through and be aware of and evaluate and really deal with. And so I was talking with him today, and really, he asked me a question. Let's go back, since it's been 2 years. How did I feel in that current moment when, all of that was unraveling? And I was reflecting on it and now thinking, literally the day after my birthday, me and my husband are going to get the car wash before we were going somewhere. I have no clue. Um, but we were going to the car wash, and in the midst of us in the car wash, I get a phone call from one of his cousins, and she was like, "Where are you? Brother died. We have to get all these people together." And I'm just like, "What do you mean?" Because I literally just saw him like a day or two ago. And the first feeling that I was feeling, it was like a shock, kind of fearful, scared kind of feeling, like I can't breathe kind of feeling. And whenever anybody in my family or close to my family passes away, I don't, it's something I have to unpack. So I'm aware of it now, but something I have to unpack and really, really face and deal with. But whenever somebody close in our family passes away, I'm just like scared, because I'm like, who's going to be the next one to go? Is death knocking on my family's door? You know what I mean? Um, and so that was how I was feeling for a split second. And then my emotions and everything just shut off. And I was like, I have to get to my sister, because this is the father of her children, and I need to be there for my niece and nephews, and for her. I'm thinking, I'm now putting my emotions to the side, to the back end, for my sister and her children, thinking, oh my gosh, this is terrible for them. What's gonna happen? How are they gonna react? And all these things. And going through that, and mind you, it has been 2 years. Now I'm just now trying to deal with this. And throughout the 2 years, it would be random times I think about him, and the emotion of, I could best describe this as sadness, comes about me, and I just shake it off. And shaking it off is distracting myself from the main issue. Excuse me. And the main issue is I feel sad. I feel a way that he died, and not only did he just die, like he died a day after my birthday. I feel like I feel like my birthday has always been about somebody else than me, somebody else's spotlight and not my own. And so the having the anniversary of my brother's death literally the day after my birthday, my feelings are my feelings are everywhere. And really we have to face these emotions and feelings in those present moments when we are going through it, because if not, like I said, we're just going to keep suppressing, and it's just going to come back bigger and bigger and bigger until you finally get to a space where it's big enough, the hurt, the pain, and like the agony and everything, like it's so big to the point where you can't ignore it anymore. You can't distract yourself from it with drugs or with binge eating. And it's deep, it's heavy. I know it's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable through my journey, reconnecting with my emotions, reconnecting with myself, things coming up. It's like I don't want to talk about it because the feelings and emotions, they do hurt. And I just imagine having to carry these burdens with you your whole life. Instead of feeling like a feather, you feel like a rock. That can be unbearable. You know what I mean? And so we really have to stop distracting ourselves from our emotions and feelings, and really deal with it, really face it. And a couple of things that I've picked up with dealing and facing these emotions is, one, acknowledge it. Acknowledge that your feelings are hurt. Acknowledge that you were sad, you were angry, you were frustrated, you were upset, that you were depressed, that whatever situation went through, it was hard. So acknowledge your feelings towards the situation, towards the person. Acknowledge them, be aware of them. Let it know, hey, I know that you're here, but I'm just not sure what or how to move forward with you right now. And that's okay. Another thing I've learned, reconnecting and being more aware, is journaling. Journaling helps me so much, and I wish I had my journal in here with me, but I don't. Journaling, brain dumping has helped me so much, as well as some journal prompts. Um, but brain dumping, you can, whatever feelings, emotions, situation has happened to you that you keep suppressing, write it out, because getting it out of you, getting it out of your system is such a stress reliever. I cannot even explain to you the feeling unless you do it. um, but brain dumping helps a lot. It helps me really see all perspectives of the situation, see why I feel the way I feel, really nurture my emotions. And that's really a starting point right there. You've acknowledged your emotions and your feelings, and now you've got it down on paper. Now you can seek help. Now we can really attack the root of its problems, because now moving forward, you can't change anything that has happened in the past. Um, Everything in the past, you've either at this point allowed it to make you who you are, or really break you and really turn you into a Krabby Patty. For better understanding, like, are you just triggered and flustered and and cranky all the time? Or were you really appreciative of these situations that happen to you and you have a broader perspective on these things? You know what I mean? And yeah, hopefully these situations, I just lost my train of thought, y'all. I was going in. But yeah, you either let these situations make or break you for who you are today. And now knowing that we're aware of our feelings and emotions and the situations that has caused these that has caused, the situation that has caused these emotions and feelings. We wrote them down. Now we can seek help. Now we can seek guidance. Now, we cannot change anything that has happened in our past. It either made us or break us to who we are today. It's really acknowledging these feelings and emotions, telling them, I know that you're here and I want to deal with you. Decide how you want to move forward with them. And in a positive way, I should stress. You don't want to be like, man, I'm mad at Timmy in the fifth grade because he did X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna go beat him up. No, we're not doing that. How do you want to deal with them now in a positive way? Like I said, these things have happened. They created you, and they have created you for who you are today. Find the lesson in it. Find the gratitude in these lessons, and really appreciate and be grateful. But shoot, something I've been loving and learning to do now is pray and talk to God about it. Being in His Word really helps a lot. It helps me mentally because there's a lot of truth in that word, and we really have to lean on God when it comes to these things because if we allow our emotions to rule us, then in my opinion, your life will be screwed if you have your emotions just ruling you. You know what I mean? So, how do you want to move forward now, knowing that you have these hurts and these feelings? How do you want to nurture yourself? How do you want to nurture these hurt versions of you and say, hey, I'm sorry you went through that. And I know it was rough. And I know we weren't around the right kind of people or the right kind of situation, but I see you and I feel for you and I'm sorry. And like really hug yourself and really show up for yourself, that version of yourself. You know what I mean? And decide moving forward. I've learned this lesson from it. So now moving forward, I know what to look for, but not only that, I know how I can protect myself. I know how I can avoid this situation. I know how I can avoid it from hurting anybody close to me. You know what I mean? Really find a positive outcome for you and yourself. And yeah, and let that bloom, let that blossom because you never know what can flourish from that. So I highly suggest being more aware of your emotions, your feelings, of yourself, and how you want to move forward with your hurt and pain instead of distracting yourself and continuing to go down that spiral of darkness and just sit there and let your emotions rule you. You know what I mean? It's light at the end of the tunnel, and God is always here waiting for us to turn to Him. I highly recommend read the Bible for yourself because that's something that I've never done until now in my life. Read the Bible for yourself. Get you a good journal and brain dump, and start there. I highly recommend therapy. I know you might have to go through some to find one that's for you, but make sure that, excuse me, if and when you do find a therapist, that they can help you set yourself up for success and not failure. You know what I mean? And so, thank you for coming to my little rant, my little POV Max Mind of the day, and I love you.